today just discussed you as a national security threat and suggested the federal government can take action against you. I guess this is on what the president said yesterday. Do you plan to take any steps to shield yourself from aggressive oversight? That could happen, and if so, what are they?
So I'll start with the buses. You know, a few years ago, my then Chief of Staff, now Campaign Manager, L. Bisgard Church, and I started a listening tour with transit experts, advocates, and the MTA itself. And it was in a meeting with senior officials at the MTA where someone remarked to me that if you really cared about equity, you would focus first on the buses. And it was a suggestion, and I took it to heart, because what it spoke to is the fact that bus riders are disproportionately working class across these 5 boroughs. There are more than 1 million New Yorkers who ride them every day. And these are the slowest buses in the country. When I am late and I'm getting off of the train and I'm walking up the steps, I'm walking faster than that bus. The average speed is 8 miles an hour. In parts of Manhattan, it's lower than 6. And what New Yorkers deserve is a way to get around this city that makes sense. And they deserve a system that is reliable, that is safe, that is efficient. And as an assembly member who, alongside the Deputy Majority Leader Mike Gianaris in the state Senate, won the first fare-free bus pilot, we saw that in making a bus free, it wasn't just economic relief. It was that ridership then went up by up to 38%. It was public safety, as assaults on bus drivers went down by 38.9%. And it was also a question of the environmental impacts, as 11% of new riders got out of a car or a taxi and got onto the bus. One of the many things that makes me proud to be a New Yorker is public transit. And as I speak to New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, I hear their desire for world-class public transit. And to make a bus free is to take one significant step towards that. And I'm excited to work with Governor Hochul, who has been laser focused on the question of affordability, and with the MTA in identifying the revenue that will pay for this and in actually bringing it into effect such that every New Yorker can benefit from what we already saw those 5 routes bring about. Yesterday, Donald Trump said that I should be arrested. He said that I should be deported. He said that I should be denaturalized. And he said those things about me, someone who stands to be the first immigrant mayor of this city in generations, someone who would also be the first Muslim and the first South Asian mayor in this city's history. Less so because of who I am, because of where I come from, because of how I look or how I speak, and more so because he wants to distract from what I fight for. I fight for working people. I fight for the very people that have been priced out of this city, and I fight for the same people that he said he was fighting for. This is the same president who ran on a campaign of cheaper groceries, who ran on a campaign about easing a suffocating cost of living crisis. And ultimately, it is easier for him to fan the flames of division than to acknowledge the ways in which he has betrayed those working class Americans, not just in this city, but across this country, and the ways in which he continues to betray them. Because we know that he would rather speak about me than speak about the legislation that he is shepherding through Washington, D.C. Legislation that will quite literally take health care away from Americans, legislation that will steal food from the hungry, legislation that looks to build upon one of the largest transfers of wealth we've seen in recent history in his first administration and do it once again for the very Americans who already have enough. We should be fighting for those that do not have what they need to live a dignified life. That is what I will do, and I am thankful to have the protection and to have the support of so many New Yorkers who have stood up and said how unacceptable this is, including our governor, including members of the labor movement. And ultimately, what I fear for is that if this is what Donald Trump and his administration feel comfortable about saying about the Democratic nominee for the mayor of New York City, imagine what they feel comfortable saying and doing about immigrants whose names they don't even know.